Hello again, welcome back to the channel. On this one we're going to be doing a bit of plumbing work as opposed to some of our other stuff. Now on this one we have a toilet that is not flushing very well. Now the reason it's not flushing very well is I think some of the pipes are blocked. Now this toilet is a downstairs toilet and it runs off a macerator. So when you flush it, the macerator kicks in and it takes away any of the waste out through the pipes. But the problem is when we flush, as I shall demonstrate, it's filling up. So it's not taking it away and the macerator is not kicking in. That's it there, you can hear the noise, but it's still very slow taking it away. So that would suggest to me that the pipes are blocked. So what we're going to have to do is take away all this casing, get down into the pipe work and have a look at it. It does drain away slowly, but it's very slowly and it's obviously not functioning properly. Now these macerators, you do need to sort of clean them out once a year or so, or every couple of years, because bits of debris can get in there and get caught on them and it stops the blaze. They run like a blade, turns around and it chops up all the waste and then takes it away. But it's obviously not working very well. It sounds like it's strained when it's flushing. That's it again. So it's trying to kick in to take that water, because when it's at a certain level it will kick in and take it away, but it's obviously not working properly, as you can see. Now the actual sink is also connected to it. So with the problem we were having, there's a little trap inside here which I'll show you in a minute, and the water from the waste wasn't taking it away, so it's blocking up here as well. So it's blocking up both ends because they're both connected, which does suggest to me that there's a lot of debris in there, or sort of deposits, a lot of calcium deposits, because we've got sort of hard water where we live. A lot of the reason is it just builds up and clogs up the pipes. So you need to take them out and clean them or replace them if need be. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this casing off now. I've actually undone the screws on this one. Take it out, expose it all, and then we'll take that macerator out and have a look. Right, as you can see, I've got my trusty marigold gloves on, because you're going to be putting your hand sort of in and around a macerator and a toilet. Right, I've undone all the screws on here now, so this should just lift straight out, which it does. We'll get that outside out of the way. Right, now if you look under here, this is the macerator and it's connected to the back of the toilet. So that's your pipe with the cold water going in. That's your feed, so we need to turn that off, and it runs off electricity. So if you can see here, it's plugged in. That'll turn it on and off. That'll turn the motor inside the macerator on and off. So what we need to do, if you can see from the pipes here, as I told you, this one is connected to the sink coming in here. So you've got your little S-bend going down, the water's running through, and there's a little trap in here. I'll take that open, just pull out like that. You can see a little trap. See, that's it in the open position, that's it in the closed position. And what happens is the water will come down here from the sink. I'll turn it on, you'll be able to demonstrate it. And it'll push the trap out of the way like that. And then it will close. And when you flush the toilet, it will push the water the other way, so it will come down from the macerator down this pipe here into there and then take it out the way. But what happens is, because it pushes it through at quite a strong pace, it will push it back this way, and it can technically come up this pipe and up your sink. Now I did have this problem, that is the reason why I fitted this trap. So what happens was, when you flush a toilet, that trap will close and it will stop it going up. It'll only go that way. So that's the purpose behind that. I won't demonstrate, because if I do, it's going to come shooting out here, up here and all over the floor, make a bit of a mess. But that is the reason behind it. So what we need to do, put that back on. Oh, you can see what I'm doing, but you can't smell it, but believe me, it smells a bit. So what we need to do is disconnect this pipe from the macerator here, unplug it obviously. We'll have to undo this That one's actually not connected to. That was the old waste pipe. This is the new one where it goes down through this pipe and takes it out. This one was a bit too small. That's the reason why we changed it. So what we need to do is isolate the water coming in. So we'll have to turn it off at the mains, or if there's an isolation piece on here, we'll take it off there, but I don't think there is. And take this little macerator off. So we have to take it off from the back of the toilet, open up the cover. Not the nicest of jobs, I can assure you, but a necessary one. Just getting you this stuff out of the way. So you don't need many tools for this job, just a screwdriver really, pretty much. So you need a flat head. I'll have to turn the water off at the mains, obviously. Right, so we're just going to take the Jubilee clip off the top of the waste pipe from the macerator. Now it's just a flathead screwdriver or a Phillips head one that will take these off. Now it's probably stuck a little bit because it's been on there for quite a while. So a little bit of a jiggery pokery. We can tempt it off. Get our light in close so we can see what we're doing. We'll just undo it with the screwdriver. Just enough to loosen it really. You can leave the actual Jubilee clip on there. There we go, we've pulled it and it's come off at the top. There's two of those to do. So then you have to take the Jubilee clip off the rubber seal on the back, which goes from the macerator into the toilet. Again, it's just one Jubilee clip on here. Now technically you should have two, one that goes onto the back of the macerator and one that goes onto the back of the toilet. That will stop any movement. There's only one on here now at the moment, but if you're going to be doing it from new, I would suggest using two. And once you've undone it, it's just a case of sort of pulling it away from the toilet. Making sure the pipes are all loosened. Well, as you can see, we found a problem. There's a lot of stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. Now these things should be taken out and cleaned every so often. This obviously hasn't been done for a long time. So we need to see if we can take this off. Yeah, the whole thing needs taken out and cleaning. Right, well as you can see, it's caked on with limescale. Now the reason we've got so much limescale because we're living in an area that's got hard water, so it just builds up. Now it does come off, it's not the hardest thing in the world to remove, but obviously it's not the most pleasant of jobs. So you need to get in there with an old screwdriver or a wallpaper stripper, a little spatula to get in there, it'll clean it all out. It does come up once you sort of dig around with it, but obviously you've got to get that out before you put it in and give it a good clean. But when you do clean it, obviously don't tip all the limescale down the drain, that's going to block it, cause you another problem. So what we're going to do is just loosen it all and then we'll put it all in the black bag for the rubbish, take it away. So I have done this before, like I say, but it was about 3 years ago, so it was well due another clean. So we've given it a good clean and put some of the deposits into a black bag. Like I say, don't put it down the drain because you're going to cause yourself another problem there. So just giving it a good rinse out, give it a good clean. And that's it. Just put the last of the bits in there. It's all caked around the rubber seal. You should ideally replace it once you've taken them apart, but I didn't have one available, so I'm going to have to refit this one until I get round to buying some. And you can see there all the deposits that are around the actual motor on the macerator. Now that's after about 2 or 3 years. You can see how thick it is. It's probably about 3 millimeters thick. So like I say, it comes off. You just got to give it a little scrape and it'll chip off easy enough, as you can see. So you don't need to chuck it away and buy a new one, as long as the motor still works and turns around. But this one was making a funny noise, as you can hear, and I think that was the build up of all the Limescale was probably affecting the motor. So you give it a good clean. Right, well, we give it a good clean now. I've just rinsed it off as well. Put the cover back on. It's nice and clean inside. Just give it a clean it down a little bit. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it. Make sure we don't get it on the plug, because you'll be plugging that in a minute. I think that'll do. And that's going to go onto the bottom of the cistern. Right, so like I say, these things should be cleaned about once a year, and some descaler put in them as well, because partly the reason why it's so bad is it's scaled up inside, so I had to chip all that stuff away, as you saw. But we're going to get it back in place. A bit tricky feeding it round, but get the cable out of the way. Right, that's a bit tricky, obviously, to get this on in line. You've got to line it up with this piece here. Now it is offset, this one, so you can turn it around and hopefully line it up. We'll put our ring on there, get it in place. Jubilee clip. Now you want to get it, turn it around, because as I say, it's offset this, as you can see. So you can turn it up or down and it should line it up, but obviously you've got to get this as near to it as we can. A flathead screwdriver and a good light. So I've just done the pipe here, which is down there. I'll just put the actual Jubilee clip, as we call them here, tightened it up. That's holding that on there. That is where the waste pipe will come out of here. When the macerator, it flushes the toilet, the water goes in the little motor or the blades, chop it all up, push it out through here and away out to the drain. So all that's left to do is turn the water on and try it out. So we just turned the water on there. It all seems to be working pretty good. It was still a little bit noisy, the motor. That's probably because of all the Limescale that's still built up inside, but that'll take a few flushes for that to work its way out, hopefully. If it doesn't, obviously, then you would need to replace the whole macerator. But I checked all the water and everything, it seemed to be working pretty good. So hopefully that's going to be good for another couple of years. So all was left to do is to wash my hands, sit down and have a cup of tea. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.